Hey YouTube, Shelko04 here. So I want to talk today about the concealed carry option that I came up with for my Ruger LCP. Here it is. Let me, magazine's empty. Always do that first. Okay. I may make another video later about why I went with a subcompact pistol. That's a whole another ball of wax. But the fact of the matter is, the conundrum I came up with is, how do I carry this? Now, I want to be able to carry it this summer, and that implies that I'm going to be wearing shorts, which means an ankle holster is out. I want to carry it concealed, so that means an out of the waistband regular holster is out. So then the next question is, what are the inside the waistband alternatives? Well, I didn't really find many that I like, and here's why. I wanted the flexibility of being able to remove the weapon from my body, put it in the RV at a moment's notice without attracting attention. If you have most holster options, somebody can see he's got a gun. There's no way around it. So, and the reason for that is because what I'm going to be doing this summer and where we're going in the RV, I want the option of having a pistol with me and also not with me, if that makes sense. As far as, I want to be able to go into a store, but if the store says no weapons allowed or whatever we're going to do, no weapons allowed, I want to be able to remove the weapon from my body, then walk back to the RV, lock it up, and again, not have some idiot in the parking lot see me pull a holstered weapon from off of my person and put it in the RV. I don't want that kind of attention. Which raises the question now, okay, what are the alternatives? Well, one of the things they make for a weapon this size is what they call a wallet holster. And that's basically makes this thing look like a wallet. It basically is about that big and fits in your pocket. It's leather on either side like a clamshell. Some of them have a hole cut out for trigger access, and that's so you don't have to pull the thing out of the wallet at all. You can just fire it right like that. I did not want that, although it would have met my needs. The thing is, where I'm going is also going to be hot and humid, and I did not want that thing causing my pocket to sweat. The other thing is, I want to be able to have this thing on me while I'm riding a bicycle, and it occurred to me that if you got it in your pocket, your front pocket, you're riding a bicycle, probably not as accessible as you'd like it to be. So what I came up with, the option that I explored is what they call pouch holsters, and I'll show you mine in a minute. But there are a couple of different brands of pouch holsters out there. There's the Uncle Mike's pouch holster. And this is the point where my brother laughs because he thinks Uncle Mike's sucks. And I guess in some respects they do. The other brand is something called, what is it? God, I can't remember. But it looks just like it's like a Eco Tactical or something. It looks basically just like a knockoff of the Uncle Mike's. The thing I did not like about those is, instead of the weapon being on my body in this position, it's on your body in this position, with the muzzle pointing towards your ass. Now, that doesn't seem as intuitive and as easy to do as that. So I wanted some means of, or some pouch holster that stored the weapon in a muzzle down position. First off, for safety, because I don't want to be shooting the guy behind me. And second off, because I want to be able to grab the gun in a manner that I'm familiar with, basically because it's what I've been doing all my life. So the gun had to be in this position. Now, what a lot of people have done that's cheap, and I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing, is to be cheap, but you can go to you can go to Home Depot and buy what they call a tool pouch. And it's basically like something you might put a voltmeter or something in. It's about that big. The problem is it's also about twice the thickness. That's okay. It might have worked. It was only $6. The thing I didn't like about it, and the thing I didn't like about some of the other pouch holsters that I've looked at, is you've got to unzip it. and the zipper would run from one side of the weapon all the way around to the other. It's basically a pouch. So I'm like, screw that. If I've got to take time to unzip it, I might as well not even have it. So then what are the other alternatives? Well, there are a couple of pouch holsters out there that are secured with Velcro. And while that was interesting, and I checked those out for a while, my concern there was first the sound of the Velcro opening, and that sort of robs you of some of your quietness, if you want to call it that. But also, Velcro fails or gets old or worn out over time, so I didn't want this thing flapping in the wind. So I wanted something that was magnetically closed. And what I wound up going with is a Sneaky Pete holster. So Sneaky Pete holster and my Ruger LCP, good combination. Now, the Sneaky Pete holster is not the only one out there. It's got magnets, so it'll stay closed and all that sort of stuff. The reason I went with this is because it looks like a phone case or something. So DeSantis makes one called the Incognito, and there's also one called the PDA holster, is another brand. I went with Sneaky Pete. The reason is because I wanted a holster that was as tight on my weapon as possible. I wanted a holster basically that was designed for my weapon. I didn't want a big thing that the weapon would be rattling around in. When the weapon goes in, I want it to be a nice, clean, tight fit. And Sneaky Pete met those needs. Now, I made a modification. I highly recommend it. I modified my Sneaky Pete holster, and this is why. I've actually got two of them at the moment, and that's another video, but we'll discuss that later. So, I took the holster like this, modified it. What I did was I went on eBay and I searched replacement Apple logo stickers, and I bought the small one for the Series 6 and Series 7 phones. I peeled it off, I stuck it on my my phone, or on my Sneaky Pete holster, and that's what you get. Now, here was my dilemma. In the state I am sitting in at the moment, they do not recognize my concealed carry permit. So my conundrum has been, how do I test and evaluate this holster without a gun in it? Well, that's okay, actually. I didn't need to have a gun in it the other day to see if people noticed it or what the reaction was to it. So what I did was I put this on my hip, and I'll show you how it looks now. Hold on. Can you see it? Like that. Okay, so I threw that on my hip, and I wandered around and ran my errands for the next 7 or 8 hours. Now here's the fun thing. Without a weapon in it, I didn't feel any obligation to not go anyplace. So during those next 7 or 8 hours, I went to the hospital. I had a doctor's appointment. So I was in the hospital. I was in the doctor's office. I was meeting with the doctor, met with the nurses, met with all the medical staff, walked past security a couple of times. Nobody even batted an eye. Then we went to the mall, walked around there for a couple of hours. Nobody batted an eye. Nobody even looked at it. Nobody even noticed it. Or if they did, they weren't like, Jesus, what's that? And I think a lot of that comes down to the Apple logo as a distraction. Then I went into Walmart. Walmart's got a big sign. No handguns in Walmarts in the state of New Mexico. And I guess that's because they sell alcohol in there. But anyway, I made damn sure I went and was loitering around security. And I'm standing at, I'm looking at people to see if they're looking at me or are they looking at the holster. And lo and behold, nobody noticed it. Now, as far as functionality and drivability and stuff, once this is on you, you hardly even notice it. So I drove with it, I walked with it, I sat with it. It wasn't like I had the Webster's Dictionary hanging off my hip or underneath one of the cheeks of my ass. It was pretty good fit. Now, as far as how does the weapon fit? Right like that. So, is a pouch holster for everybody? Probably not. You got to figure out what exactly your needs are, and maybe a pouch holster will meet them. In this case, a pouch holster will be exactly what I want. Like I said, I can ride a bicycle with it. I can sit down. If I'm sitting down, I still have access to the weapon. It's not going to be something that's going to cause me to get all sweaty because of the warm, high, humid environment I'll be working in. It allows me to take the weapon, move it through society, in a parking lot, in a locker room, in a restaurant, whatever, and not have somebody be like, holy shit, he's got a gun. So that's all they're going to see. Anyway, like I said, I went with the Sneaky Pete, but they're also made by DeSantis and PDA holsters, and I think they're worth a look. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Otherwise, we'll talk to you later. Oh, and do me a favor, subscribe. Shelka04 out. Thanks.